Welcome back to another Throwback Thursday. I am Joanna Bronson with A-Hole Productions, and I am so excited to share with you my experience of Won't You Be My Neighbor, a documentary created by Morgan Neville about Mr. Fred Rogers, the man behind Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So, growing up, my first experience of this show, I remember watching it and loving the puppeteering, and it really spoke to me at a really young age. But I do remember that as I got older, I was more excited to flip forward and wait to be on TV until like X-Men animation came on Saturday mornings. During the week, I remember less and less watching TV in the morning, just sleeping in until the umpteenth moment where I had to get to school. And it just shows, in the documentary, it shows this progression of how his show was so well watched by kids, and it was a really great way for parents to connect and understand where their kids were at. But as the media grew and as people's attention span shortened, animation and more high impact action shows were allowed on television, that the audience began to shrink for his show. And you can see that, as the 80s prevailed and certain stand-up comedians would make fun of Mr. Rogers and the way he was going about his life, and there was some resentment in that. But the documentary focuses on his main message, which was love. And that was the thing that sang biggest to me throughout this entire documentary. I mean, I went with a couple people and we were just in tears, and not out of, sadness. It was just like so much joy, and so much went into his work. His message and his mission was the sole purpose of connecting to children and having them understand what was going on in the world, because kids do get it. They understand. They are more open and connected to things than we ever can be as adults. So why not be able to communicate in a language they understand? And that was his main mission, which to me was amazing. The more I learned about it, the more I felt bad for taking for granted this show as I was growing up. There were a couple things in the documentary that really stood out to me as a creator, as an artist, as a person who's trying to connect, because that's what artists are. We are just creating in the best way we know how to communicate, so that other people communicate their ideas and their emotions that they're struck by when viewing our work, right? So as an actor, as an artist, performance artist, anything that you create with your own mind and imagination is made for some type of impact, correct? So these were some quotes that really sang true to me, and I hope that you enjoy them. So here we go. I wrote them down just so we wouldn't forget. An instrument is a place or a way to express yourself. So he was speaking in terms of any instrument, whether it be an actual musician's instrument, or your, as an actor, your body, or a drawing, or the way you read, or the things that you read. Anything that you perceive as an instrument that's outside of you that helps you express yourself, that is pretty much what he means when he says instrument. So it's a place to express. Really healthy for everyone. Basically, everyone should have an instrument of their choice that helps them cope, or helps them deal or understand the way that they're feeling, because some people aren't able to express it in language. Everyone expresses themselves differently. So he touches on that in the documentary. Another good thing that I loved, it's okay to not know who you are. I know so many artists that they're so stuck in not knowing what their mission is and what they need to be doing, what their purpose is, that they get stuck not doing anything. And it's so sad to see these creative individuals not doing the work. And the biggest thing, and I know I've said this in a different video, because I was taught this by another teacher, is that if you spend all your time to figure out what it is, the work is going to be about what it is. With that thing you're trying to figure out, just do the work and see what comes out of it, because the best things are the things that you don't know are coming. So you just got to work. Another thing that I loved is he talks about we need to help our children become more and more aware that what is essential in life is invisible to the eye. And then he also touched on how children can be affected by outside individuals. I think those who would try to make you feel less than you are, I think that is the greatest evil. And then, of course, the one that just had me bawling in the moment. You don't have to do anything sensational for people to love you. Now, all of these things are touched on in the documentary, along with a lifetime. Like, I'm definitely gonna have to watch this documentary a couple times to get all the lessons, but I highly recommend for anyone, really. It's really just about connection. It doesn't have to be just about kids, it could just be about your individual craft. It could be about how you are with your brothers and sisters, with your parents, with anyone. And of course, it's great for parents because it shows you, I think it puts children in a different light, showing them as whole humans that understand and perceive the world in a totally different way that we can learn so much from. So I highly recommend this documentary. It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor? I'm sure it'll be out on some social media outlet as soon as possible. So I highly recommend this documentary to you guys. Remember, it's called Won't You Be My Neighbor about Mr. Rogers. I'm sure it'll be available soon to you on some outlet. Everything is streaming these days. So thanks for watching. Just remember that our goal is to inspire others and create content that's free for you to view and learn from. So if you like what you saw, please share and leave any comments or questions below. I will get back to them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, A-Holes.